I went to Joann's to get the fabric that I needed since they have a variety of it. I also wanted it to be cotton, so all of my pieces here are 100% cotton. I specifically asked for the fabric to be cut to the shortest length, which is 1/8 of a yard, since I wasn't making that many scrunchies, and by doing so I also saved a few bucks. These 5 pieces were only $5. With the size of this piece of fabric, you have enough material to make 2 scrunchies. So fold it right in the middle and cut. So for the first method, I'm just using a regular old hair elastic. Nothing fancy, just a plain elastic. And we're gonna be using just a needle and thread. There's no sewing machine for this one, so if you don't have one, don't worry. I will show you how you can make one without it. So we are putting the hair elastic on the corner of it. Then you will fold the fabric, making sure that the pretty side is on the inside, because when we're done sewing it, we're gonna turn it inside out. Now we're gonna do a running stitch along the edge until we are done. So basically a running stitch is just a needle going in and out of the fabric, or just over, under until you are completely done with your piece. I hope that makes sense. If not, hopefully the video does. Make sure that as you are sewing, you are also stretching the fabric. Don't leave the fabric all scrunched up, because that's how it's gonna stay in place, and when you try to stretch out your scrunchie, you won't be able to, because the thread won't give. So now that we're done sewing, we're just going to turn our scrunchie inside out so we can actually see the pretty side. Just keep pushing the fabric from one side and pull from the other. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, it's not that hard to do. Once we have the right side out, we're going to be tucking one of the end into the other, and we're going to be sewing the ends together. This is the end result of our scrunchie without using a sewing machine. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but it's still very doable, it's still very possible. So don't get discouraged if you don't have a sewing machine. You can still do many things. So for this method, we will be using a sewing machine and just some regular elastic for our scrunchie. Also, how cute is this pattern? I thought it was the most appropriate choice due to the season we're in, Christmas. Hello, my favorite. So here we're going to be doing exactly the same thing, only that we will be folding the end of it just to give it more of a clean cut, and we're going to be sewing along just like we did with the other one, just that this time it's going to be with a sewing machine. The elastic for this one comes after we're done with the sewing. So now that we're done sewing the edges, we will be turning the fabric inside out. The easiest way for me to do this is by putting a pin one end of it and pushing it to the other. Just watch the video. This part is like a magic trick to me. It's like those magicians that pull all those colorful fabrics from up their sleeves. Okay, so now that we have the right side out, we're going to be using the same pin to get the elastic from one end to the other. Once that is done, you can either sew the two ends or you can just do what I did and just make a knot and call it a day. And like I showed you previously, we're just going to tuck one of the ends into the other and we're gonna sew those two ends together. You could do this by hand or with your sewing machine. And this is how our scrunchies turned out. They are super easy to make, super quick. They are very affordable. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I wish you all happy holidays and I'll talk to you guys next time.